Live from my closet, getting ready to start a 4-day trip. No, not a 4-day trip, a 3-day trip. Tonight I will be in Indianapolis. Tomorrow I will be in LA. And then I finish on the 3rd day, sometime in the evening. Not too late, but later, I think around 8 o'clock. So come with me on today's adventure. We're starting out the morning with some rain. Kind of nice and peaceful though. Tranquil, calming. See that squirrel up there? Hi, squirrely. You and the squirrels love the rain. And it is raining pretty heavily outside right now. I received my seat assignment. I'm just waiting for group 6 so I can board. They just started boarding right now. I think this rain is causing a few things to be a little bit delayed, but not bad. I don't think it's like a weather delay. I just think the cleaners had to enter the aircraft through the inside of the airport, and maybe they were just hectic with cleaning other planes and kind of having to get in and out a different way. So they got on a little bit late, but I think they're off now and I should be boarding soon here. We made it to Miami, as you can see, the Miami Heat store is here. I'm going to head to the crew area and do some online lessons that I've just been assigned. Today has been such a rainy, thunderstorm-filled day. I spent the last 2.5 hours doing some online lessons, and now it's time to go to the gate so I can start my workday. My safety checks are done. Now time to get down in my galley and get everything set up. Time to get ready in my galley and get all my carts set up, get my tea and my coffee set up, and get this trip started.
Passengers traveling with checked luggage, you may retrieve your checked luggage from carousel.
I landed in Indianapolis about 2 a.m. Now it is 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I do have stuff to report. One of the things in Charlotte, we were already armed, almost close to pushing back. When I say we were armed, all the doors were armed, which means the slides were armed in place in case there was an emergency. And which means if someone opens the door, the slide would deploy. Catering showed up late and opened a door where there was an active slide. I'll tell you more about that in the morning. I'm tired. Right now I need some rest, so stay tuned. Okay, my alarm is set for noon. Isn't that crazy? I mean, when I started off my work morning, I set my alarm for 8 a.m. Then I traveled from Orlando to Miami. And now here I am, done with my workday in my hotel room at 3:13 a.m. And now I'm going to sleep until noon. And tomorrow I'm going to fly from Indianapolis to LA. One leg tomorrow. But all right, night. It's the next morning and I have woken up here in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is cloudy outside, kind of nice looking. I slept until noon. I set my alarm for noon. I woke up naturally around 11:40. So before my alarm, which makes that a little bit easier to get up from bed from. And let's see, what else have I done? I've taken a shower, put on my makeup, watched some TV, and now I'm just kind of hanging out. Pickup is going to be at 3:42 p.m. Then we're going to fly from Indianapolis to Los Angeles, where I will lay over. But some stuff did happen. Let me show you Indiana real quick, and then I'll talk about what happened yesterday, because it was an eventful day. So a cloudy Indiana day, but it does look nice outside. Nice green grass. It's windy. I see the trees moving down there. Do you see? I wonder what this factory is. It reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the view from my room, the 10th floor. Okay, so yesterday during the first leg, so right at the beginning, reporting for work, the airplane came in, we got on, and then maintenance told the gate agent to hold boarding because there was something that they needed to look at. So 2 maintenance people came on, we held boarding, and then after a little while, the captain gave us our briefing. He anticipated turbulence, wasn't sure what the maintenance deal was. Then a few minutes later, they told us, you know what, we're swapping planes, go to a new gate. So that's what we did. We went to a new gate. They gave us a new airplane, boarded the passengers. We had 2 jump seaters with us in the back, and that was nice because one jump seater was a flight attendant for PSA, which is like the American Airlines regional part of the company. And she just had she's just an interesting person. She had a lot of things to talk about. So it's nice to have a little bit of company there. Made that leg go by quickly. And then in Charlotte, we had a little bit less. It was originally supposed to be a 3-hour sit, but it was less than 3 hours because we were delayed because of that airplane thing, getting a new airplane. So what I did was me and one of the other flight attendants, Jeff, we went looking around for something to eat because by this time it was dinner time. We were hungry, and I got, it was like 2 bao buns for $9, and I'll post a picture. This is one of them right here. I got the chicken teriyaki bao, and then I got a Mongolian beef bao. Both were very good. Would I get it again? Yes. Jeff, would he get it again? His complaint was that they weren't very hot. Towards the end of the night, they were just kind of like lukewarm, and he just likes his food hot. So that's the only complaint that there was about the bao bun. So that's what I did. I had dinner, sat there. Then our new plane came in that we were supposed to take to Indianapolis. So we flew from Miami to Charlotte on the Boeing 737, and then the airplane from Charlotte to Indianapolis was the Airbus 321. So there were 4 doors on this airplane. My doors were the ones in the back because I'm flight attendant number 2. I'm in the galley. And flight attendant 1 has the 2 doors at boarding, and then flight attendant number 3 has doors 2L and R And then flight attendant 4 has doors 3L and R, and I have doors 4L and R. Well, anyways, we boarded all the passengers. We had already armed the door. The boarding door had closed. We'd armed the doors. The flight deck door was closed. We had our safety equipment, demo equipment. We were getting ready. We were just waiting for the queue for us to do our safety demo. When all of a sudden, catering went to the 1R door, so the door at the front where the number 1 was, and started opening the door after it was armed. So flight attendant number 3 saw that the lever started going up, so she panicked and was holding the lever down and telling him, the door's armed, don't open it, because if you open an armed door, the slide's going to deploy. The caterer freaked out. Captain came out of the flight deck, like, what's going on? He must have got an alert right away. I don't know what the caterer was thinking. He just made a huge mistake. So Captain came on, made a PA, explained that because that had happened, it had never happened before in his whole career. Maintenance had to come and look at the slide to make sure it wasn't deployed at all. It didn't look like it at the moment, but it still needed to be evaluated. So it was evaluated, it was looked at. Luckily, it did not deploy. And finally, we were on our way, but we did not get here to Indianapolis until about 3 a.m. Now, I'm going to get dressed for the flight to Los Angeles, where I think I get in there around 10 p.m., I think. So that's what's on my agenda today. So continue with me on this journey. Okay, a little bit of change of events. Our flight is now delayed. So the number 4 flight attendant, he's been flying for 35 years. He knows his ins and outs of everything. He called and got our van pushed to 4 o'clock. So instead of being picked up at our original time, which I think I said in the video was 3:42, I'm glad I looked again, it was 3:24. It's now 4 o'clock, so I now have an hour. So I was getting dressed. I'm just gonna put getting dressed on pause. I mean, all I had to just put on my scarf and my lipstick, but I wanted to talk about, I'm out of the red lipstick that I normally wear. So I've been using this one, and it is it L'Oreal? No, I think it's Revlon. Revlon, their Intense Nude selection panel, number 184. It's okay. It's not my favorite, but I had gone on this lipstick binge and bought 4 or 5 colors, some of them nudes, and some of the nudes I got are so nude you can barely tell I have anything on, but this one is pretty dark. I'm going to go ahead and apply this lipstick, but I'm just mentioning that it's not my favorite. Okay, here it is. So I like it most when it is freshly applied. So maybe I should keep the lipstick in my pocket and just anytime it fades, just put it on, because I think it looks best when it's freshly applied, no fade. So in that little bit of time, there was another delay added on, 15 minutes. But I'm going to make my way down. Our new pickup is 4 o'clock. It's 3:50. I'm going to work my way towards LA now. Hopefully I get there tonight, and hopefully I get some ample rest. That's all I care about. Just give me enough rest, enough of a layover that I can get a little bit of rest. That's all I'm hoping for right now. Okay, here I am. I'm in LA, in the hotel Flight time from Indianapolis was 3 hours and 45 minutes. It was bumpy for, I would say, 60% of the way. And then especially when we got over the mountains near Colorado, it got pretty bumpy. And yeah, but nothing to report, nothing odd. It was a pretty good flight. This is a really good crew. Jeff is really funny, and he definitely makes everything more entertaining, but the entire crew is wonderful. Now I'm at the hotel in LA. We have a 6:05 pickup. It is now 8 o'clock p.m. So it's a short layover, shorter on the shorter side of a layover. I have a beautiful view of like LA, the airport area, and I'm just gonna slip into some pajamas, brush my teeth, watch TV for a little bit, and get some rest tonight. And then tomorrow I'm flying to Washington, D.C., and then to Miami. That's right. So this is the view from the room. One of the flight attendants was gonna walk to In-N-Out, but I already ate, so I am not hungry. Although I love when I come to the West Coast. If I go to Phoenix or if I go to LA, especially LA, going to In-N-Out Burger. There's a ad there, a billboard for Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios, and then I think FanFest at Universal Studios as well. It is just after 5 a.m. I woke up at 4:30. I have to be downstairs at 6:05. So I'm just here getting ready, having a cup of coffee. So out of the entire 3-day trip, day 3 was by far the longest. As far as miles goes and flying time goes. We flew from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., then from Washington, D.C. to Miami. And something a little bit strange, not strange, but rare happened, but it can happen. When you're flying reserve, you can get reassigned. So our number 3 got reassigned when we landed in Washington. There was a manager waiting for her at the boarding door to let her know to check her phone because she had been reassigned. They needed coverage on another flight. So they pulled her from our flight. They gave us another flight attendant, number 3. And so that last leg from Washington to Miami, we flew with a different crew, a different number 3. But that happens. The trip was good. Nothing else to report. I made it back into Miami after 8 o'clock. By the time everyone got off of the airplane, it was around 8:30, 8:40. I missed the 8:40 flight and caught the 10 o'clock, the 10:45 flight, which was delayed until 11:30 back home. So by the time I actually got home to my house, it was just after 3 a.m. But that was it. That was the end of my trip. That's how I wrapped it up. And I will be starting a new 3-day trip with just one layover because it's a long layover starting tomorrow. So stay tuned to see where I go on that one. All right, until next time, bye guys. And if you've not yet subscribed and you're interested in seeing more of my life as a flight attendant, then please hit the subscribe button right there. All right, bye guys.